Hello and welcome. So I thought of a little video idea today, and I probably should have done this a little earlier in hindsight, but better late than never. But I decided to do a video showing off. I guess for context, I'm a huge fan of not just WWE but wrestling in general. But of course, like most people, I grew up with WWE, and over the years, I've amassed, I guess, a collection of not just particular items, but just WWE merchandise in general. So I thought might be a fun little video idea if I show that off. So it's all on the bed here, so I'm sorry for each item. I'm gonna have to go back and grab. You can, as you can probably see, but okay. So to start off with, will be the first ever WWE item I ever bought, and that is so basically first ever item I ever bought was I'm a Hugger shirt for Bailey because so for context I guess um I wanted to get just a shirt and I saw a bunch of shirts on thing and I saw this one and Bailey is my number one favorite WWE female wrestler. And I just knew, this is a popular shirt of hers. I like the color purple, so I knew I had to get the purple one. And I've had this for a good almost 4 years now, I'd say. When I first bought this, I weighed a lot less. So this is a medium. It's kind of shrunk over the years, but I used to fit this, and I have a lot of pictures um, of me wearing it. However, as of now, it's a very tight fit. Like, it's not that I can't wear it anymore, but it's a tight fit. So I don't wear it as much, but I still keep it just as a kind of. This is the first ever WWE item I ever bought myself. So that's just right off the bat. That's out the way. Next, I'll continue the theme of shirts. This was given to me by a good friend of mine and a friend of the channel, Beanie Boy. It's a base logo WWE shirt. However, the back of it shows off many of the events that WWE or pay-per-views WWE have done. So this is a shirt I got from him. It's an extra large, so it's a bit large on me, but I still wear it around the house. Hell, I might even grow into it with the way I'm going. But yeah, this was given to me by him as a gift, and I thank him for that because I'm glad he knows of my WWE. This will lead into the next few items. So I have a Macho Man Randy Savage t-shirt. This came with a box, which I'll also show right after this, but this was just an item that came with the box. However, the box itself was a collection of stuff that I'm glad about because he is one of my favorite wrestlers from the 90s, early 2000s. Like early watching him in a like movie, like the Spider-Man movie and stuff like that. It's one of the reasons why I love the movie even more for him being in it. But so that was a part of this, which is a collector's edition for Macho Man, the Randy Savage story. So this is a box set. Um, Comes with a bunch of stuff. It comes with some discs. So it's an Ultimate Collection disc and just a Randy Savage story disc that had the shirt in it. So nice little collector, and it's got like a 3D effect. The items that came with it: a Macho Man Randy Savage headband, something I like a lot, and I'm glad it came with. And then next up is a pair of Macho Man Randy Savage sunglasses. The only the only issue and the reason why I don't wear these a lot is so you'll notice the mirrored parts. Those are see-through, but the other parts aren't, so there's just black squares all over it. But again, still really cool. It's one of my favorite little items. Um, okay, up next, I would say, just to get it out the way, 2K19 on disc, because As most people who follow my channel know, I play a lot. I played a lot of this, and I even made a series out of this called Straff Wrestling, which ended with its third season recently. But obviously, 2K20 was a bit. It you know, most people know 2K20 isn't exactly the best wrestling game they've made, and that's why I've been sticking with 2K19 even until this year. And I have hope for 2K22 to be the next step for this. However, as far until that and until I know this is just a game I continue to play. And again, I'm a huge fan. Um, Next up, I will show you these off, which are so in my town. It is a very extremely difficult to find wrestling merchandise of anything. Um, when my family first moved to this town, a good almost 7 years ago, it felt like a all right amount, but as of now, feel like there's nothing. I bought these a good year. They're like almost a year, almost 2 years old. However, so they're a bunch of figurines. I've bought four. However, I gave one to one of my sisters, who's a big fan of the wrestler, and it was a Sheamus figurine. However, I have three here. I have a Tegan Knox. I have a Becky Lynch. I don't know what like type of figurines these are or what series or that, but these were just the ones I was able to get. And last but not least, a Bray Wyatt, which looking at now, it's very. I guess in a way I'm glad I've got this, but it kind of like another item I have here. It's hard to look at for reasons. So that out the way. Next up would be one of the first bigger purchases I ever made at the time, and one that I'm gonna show because it's WWE related, but obviously you'll see why. So off the bat, it's a Sin Cara mask. This was the mask that he wore when he not only debuted, but as they called it, Sin Cara Azul for the color. And I wanted to get this mask because, again, Sin Cara was one of my favorite wrestlers, and just in general, luchadors for wrestling, and I just knew I had to get the mask. I've got a video up of me unboxing this, unboxing, unpackaging, but again, despite the circumstances, it's still a mask I'm glad to have. And as far as luchadors go, the reason why I got this one in particular is because of the whole head covering, whereas like Rey Mysterio or that show off the mouth. And I've always been a fan of just the ones that cover the whole head because of the mysteriousness to it. But yeah, one of the first. This was I can't remember how much it was, but it was bought by my brother. So I can't remember too much, but I think it was like 70 or so. Not sure if that included shipping, but so that. Another one coming up, which is another similar story. So, one of the first times I saved up for a lot, I've wanted to get something from this character for a long time. I tried getting one item before, but when it shipped here, I got someone else's order, and when I tried messaging them about it, they didn't respond, which is fair because what it was a pair of the Fiend gloves. Whereas when the package I first got, it was a face mask that obviously, he got a pair of like gloves that are were like three times as much as the face mask, so he was happy. But I got these at the same time as the half face mask for the Fiend. Now, the reason being is I wanted to get the gloves. They were right off the bat because I love the look of the gloves, the design of them, and they feel good. However, I knew I couldn't afford to buy the deluxe edition of the Fiend mask, and I didn't want to get that really crappy uh first one they brought out, which is like really like floppy. Uh it's just I don't know how to explain it, but I knew just I wanted to get something from the the mask he wears, and I saw this for on sale, 20% off. It was still costly, but I was like, better this than nothing. So I got this, which I had planned to buy a deluxe, the full thing, the next time I could afford it, but unfortunately, I bought these the week before, I believe, or at least sometime before he was released from the company, which was it was a huge blow to me just knowing that this is probably the only type of merchandise I'll ever get of the Fiend character, which it's the WWE shop is very costly on my end because a lot of the shipping is extremely high priced. Like recently WWE had a sale where the items on there were uh it's like $5 shirts. So over here they were like seven something, but the shipping for each shirt, despite them being $7, was like 30 to 50, and I couldn't afford it. So shipping is was a big issue for me, and that's why a lot of the items I have got a lot of these from the shop. However, they've cost me a lot compared to finding cheaper versions on stuff like eBay or such. Which reminds me, when I first tried to buy these, I bought them from the WWE shop, and that's when they sent me someone else's package, and I couldn't get a hold of them, so I just kind of got left. The second time I tried, it was from Amazon. However, it turns out Amazon just apparently doesn't send these to Australia or something because my brother paid the money on his account, and we were waiting for a while, and after a while, he saw the money come back in, and then asked the person, and they just said they didn't know what was up, but it just turns out that Amazon doesn't send a lot of stuff apparently to Australia. But I've got them from the actual WWE shop, so. And again, as much as I got these before he was released, I'm still glad I've got something because WWE fans never forget, and they will always, see these as being like even more special now. So, uh, the next three items are something that I've kind of shown off a little recently in videos, but off the bat. So, as you know, I went and bought my first ever title belt. And this came, so it was, when I bought the belt, it popped up with a message telling me for just an extra $7, I could get this, which is why I chose it. So it's, I don't know if there's a name for it, but a lot of people just say it's the kids 24/7 title because I don't know if they ever sold a kid's version of the belt, like a small plastic one, and they don't have commemorative 24/7 title belts, unfortunately, which I kind of hate, but I guess there's a reason why they never did, and the replica was like a lot of money, so I just, straight up. But I still thought this was pretty cool, and it's a nice little thing to hang up, and also a nice little novelty thing, I guess. But so that was included with this, which is what I bought. And again, the most expensive to this item I've bought to this like time, and it's still always going to be a big part of things. So obviously, it is the commemorative NXT Championship. So again, just for reevaluation, I wanted to get a belt I could afford, and the commemoratives were the closest. And the NXT Championship was a belt that I love the look of. It's the black and gold ran for a reason. I think this belt is a good symbol for black and gold. I mean, as of now, NXT is not that. It's NXT 2.0 now, and it's all colorful, but while it was the black and gold ran, this was the symbol for it. And again, Tommaso Ciampa was a big inspiration for me because I loved his character and his belt run. And another thing too, which kind of was the opposite of the Bray Wyatt thing. When I bought this belt, a good maybe almost a fortnight later, he won and is now currently the NXT Championship again. So an opposite effect, unlike the Fiend stuff, but it made me feel like it was a good luck charm getting this, and I'm glad because my favorite male NXT wrestler is now the holder of this title. And again, I suppose in the very far future, I could see myself maybe buying a metal one. But as of now, I'm still happy that I got this, and it is again still I feel like I don't know if I'm going to get anything as high as this unless it's another commemorative, but the most expensive wrestling item I have bought, and I am happy. Happy with it. And that leads into lucky last recent and funny piece. So as most would recall, I bought a belt on eBay recently, so I thought to myself I wanted a replica. Replicas, however, would cost me around 500 or so. That includes shipping. I'd say it would probably be around almost 530, maybe. Because I think last time I checked, it was like um one of the belts I wanted to get was it was like 400 something, and then the shipping was like 150, and it added together to be like 530 something. But so I thought to myself, I might scour a place which is known to sell other items. And then I come across eBay because, again, Amazon's not one that I could find items on or could get here. And I thought to myself, I wanted to get, a different belt. And I wanted to try and, get a belt that I love. So off the bat, it is my 24/7 championship. However, this is not technically the championship they sell on the shop. Some noticeable shows are, first of all, that is just a piece of flat metal that's not only is it not even on properly, but it's just like a flat piece that was screwed on, which that was the first thing I saw in the belt, and that's what tipped me off. Secondly, although the strap, again, as I mentioned, the strap is nice and much more flexible than the NXT one, it's thicker compared to the actual title. Um, these plates, I feel, either are not as curved as well, unless that's how they were meant to be, or a little bit. Again, I'm not sure if it was meant to be long and flat like that, but it feels oddly like it shouldn't. The leather on the belt doesn't have any WWE designs or patterns like I've seen previous other belts. Like, if I can give this as an example. So, as you can see on this belt, you've got this here, which is meant to be showing off a pattern and then the logo. However, as you also should see, there is no pattern, logo, and here there's no whatever that thing is there, which is supposed to look different, and showing the front plate. It's not too noticeable, but this thing, I think it's meant to feel like a sort of bumpy material, but it's not, it's flat. And one thing that was barely noticeable, but this part of the logo sticks up past the lines, but that one's cut off. And again, I paid $250 for this, free shipping, which I'm happy about. However, obviously most eBay items, and especially most wrestling belts, are from usually Pakistan, is where most of them are seen. And another example to show it off. So, although the back has a leather covering the screws, which I hear is something that a lot of people do with belts, or a lot of people re-leather because it's keeps them there. You also can see there's not only is there no official sticker, but there's padding. Like, they put a piece of padding there, which I'm not too fussed about. Again, I don't regret buying this title. This is, oh shit, this is still, I'd say, although the NXT title is still one of my favorites because it's the sizing and it looks realistic, this is one of my favorites as far as, just, I think it does what it's supposed to. It's not, a lot of people usually buy stuff like this for displaying or stuff, but I wanted to not only just to display, but also to do videos with. And I think it's going to do its job. I'm not going to toss it around and beat it up, but I kind of want to show it off, like me wearing it and stuff and all that. So it's fine. Another thing too is it's got a curve, which a guy like me who's putting on weight and has got a stomach, I'm happy for, because it feels much more comfortable than putting the NXT one on and feeling it press up on me, especially since that belt feels like it slips off if I don't tighten it. But that's all I'm going to say for now, because if you want, again, I've got a video up not too far before this one where I've unboxed this and talked about it, so watch that if you want. But otherwise, going back here, that's my collection. I suppose one thing I could show off, which might come across as cringy, I'm sorry, but I thought I might, is... So, I am not a tattooed person, however, I do want to be. I would like to afford tattoos and put them. However, I do have one tattoo, and it is WWE related. Again, this is going to come off a little cringy, and I'm sorry, but a long time ago, this was probably maybe a good almost 3 years ago. An old family friend of my family, he does tattoo work, and he said he would give me one for free just as a friendly gesture. And not noticeable, but it is... Okay, it's very not noticeable, and it doesn't look right because it's stretching with my arm, but that is, for those of you unaware, was the logo for NXT wrestler Johnny Gargano, who, again, at the time and even now is another one of my favorite NXT wrestlers. And although it's an old logo, I'm still, like, happy I got it because it was my first tattoo. I wasn't gonna get any others, like, for free, and I wanted it to just be small and simple. And I've got that, and I do plan on getting more tattoos. Might get wrestler tattoos in the future. Might fix this one up a little better, but as of now, I haven't, because I either haven't been spending money on tattoos, especially since they're usually pretty expensive, but just in general, I have a lot of other stuff, like, those two belts and stuff I've wanted my whole life, and I chose over. But I just trying to think to myself, but that's really it. That is all the WWE wrestling merch that I own. I might have a few discs, like whatchamacalls. Actually, bear with me. I might see if I have those. It's a good possibility. I just have to rummage through some stuff. Uh-huh. Okay, I'll just count this. I did show the Macho Man Randy Savage stuff, but again, very hard to come by, so these were all I could get. So, I have Money in the Bank 2015. It's a whole disc, the Australian tour. I have a thing here for WrestleMania. It's a disc set. I have as it's called, the Destruction of the Shield. And lucky last, Superstar Collection for Zack Ryder. Again, wrestling merch, very hard to come by, so I saw these and thought I just had to get them, and, they're part of my collection. Not much wrestling, there's not much else I could find. Some of the other stuff I found there were just copies of those, so I made sure to just get one each. But, Oop. Okay, something's off. Hold on. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I'm just gonna... Yeah, so that's all the wrestling merchandise I own as of today. Again, the first one I got was the Bailey shirt, which was, yeah, a bit over 4 years. So it went... That right here, what I've shown, what's in this video, is 4 years of me either rarely being lucky to find, or me being blessed with being able to get or be given to. So, I'm gonna end it there. Video's a little longer than I expected, and I'm sorry for that, but That's really all that I can think of. I don't have any more, and I suppose if I have more than just that, I might do another video showing off, but I don't think I'm going to get nearly like that for another good couple years, so until then, I suppose. Thank you for watching. Um, like, subscribe, comment what your favorite thing is, what maybe you could... Maybe you have a video towards your collection. I would very much like to see what everyone else has. That would be pretty cool. But thank you, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.